Hello Aquarius, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for March 2017. I hope you're all doing well. This month marks a year that I've been doing readings online. So I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and to all of you who have been with me through this journey. I've gotten a lot of positive encouragement and feedback from everyone, so I appreciate that. Also, for those of you who are new to the channel and just stopping by, thank you so much and welcome, and I hope that if you enjoy the videos you'll subscribe so you can watch future videos. A couple quick announcements. I am offering some specials on my private readings, so if you request a private reading for 20 minutes, I'm adding an additional 15 minutes for free. You can use that time to either ask an additional question or you can ask me to elaborate on the question that you provide. Also, with my 40-minute readings, I'm offering an additional 10 minutes for free. So if you're interested in a private reading, you'll find my website in the information box below this video and you can request a reading there. Also, if you'd like to contact me, my email address will be listed below as well. And if you're interested in making a donation to the channel, which is always greatly appreciated, I will be posting a link for that below as well. So now, let me go ahead and get started, and I'm going to be doing 3 spreads. The first one is going to be general messages for the month of March, and then I will be doing 2 love readings, one for singles and one for couples. Excuse me, I got some type of hair flying around here. Okay, so let's see what the general messages for Aquarius are for the month of March. Okay, first card I have is Justice, the Sun, Death, wow, major arcanas right off the bat, the Tower, Ace of Pentacles, the Lovers, wow guys, 4 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 2 of Wands. The bottom of the deck for the overall energy for the month, we have the 9 of Swords. Well, I have to say, the 9 of Swords being the overall energy, it looks like you guys feel as though, you know, there's something you're very stressed out about. It can be a legal matter. There's some type of legal matter possibly here that you're dealing with, and this can also be maybe like dealing with a corporation or dealing with a corporation, or I want to say, I'm getting for some of you debt, something revolving around debt. Maybe some of you are considering filing bankruptcy, but for others of you this is some sort of other legal matter. I feel like in the beginning of the month, there may be something that arises unexpectedly. And for some of you, I feel like this is happening the end of February, where you get some type of news or some type of communication about this legal matter that gives you reason to pause and reflect. And it really is, you're kind of weighing your options, like what should I do? And that's what's causing this maybe sleepless nights, anxiety, worry, fear that you're dealing with. However, the beauty of this is that we see a drastic change come, I want to say, semi-early in the month of March into mid-March. There's some positive news here. If this is revolving around money, if this is a legal situation revolving around money, you're going to get what it is you want out of this, because we have the Sun card above this. You may feel as though you don't have a choice in how the determination is played out. Maybe you feel like whatever happens here, whatever this abrupt or shocking news is that gives you reason to pause, you feel trapped, as if, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to remedy or make the situation better for myself. However, somehow the universe steps in, God steps in, and there's a positive change in the outcome. So I want to say, for some of you, maybe something comes up and you think, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to fight that in court. I don't know what, it sounds to me like, what would a judge think of this? However, the judge, I feel, this is just a general reading, guys, but I kind of feel like things go in your favor here, and you get the rewards, or you get the payout that you're meant to get. And there's an ending to this legal situation by the end of March, mid to end March. There's an ending to it. Now, because there's an ending to this, it opens the door for you to have more options. We have like so many cards of decisions going on. We have the Lovers, which is about making a decision, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Wands. You have some big decisions to make this month, but in the beginning of the month, whatever this shocking news is, don't let it get to you to the extent that, you're overwhelming yourself emotionally, because things are going to turn around for you, and it's really out of your hands. But it's there's a positive turn of events happening here. And I see that you're going to be very happy with what comes out of this. For some of you, I do see that this can be a custody issue. There's a resolution to this custody dispute. You are going to get alimony or child support. You're going to get what you're asking for. And also, I feel like when it comes to the parenting time plan, I think it's going to be pretty fair. I think it's going to be 50-50. Now, because this has ended, though, at the end of the month, you're looking ahead. You're looking at your future, and you're saying, okay, now that this is resolved, I feel like I can move on. I feel like I can start planning my life, or I can move on with my life. And so we go from the Two of Swords, which is a woman who feels trapped. She's blindfolded, so it says either she doesn't want to make a decision, or she can't make a decision because she doesn't have all the information to make one. So we go from having that kind of feeling to going into a place of Two of Wands, where it's now the world is opened up to me. He's holding this globe. He's looking out over the sea. The world is opened up to me now. The world is full of possibilities now. So now I make decisions based on what I see for my future and what I want for my long-term future. Okay? With the Lovers here, I'm not reading this so much as like a love message. I'm reading this more as a decisions. I see here with an angel here, it's almost like God is coming in, angels are coming in to bless you and say, we're offering you new opportunities that are coming into your life. That can be financial opportunities. It can be opportunities for move or advancement in career. There's other areas of your life outside of this legal matter that are opening up to you. And now you're coming from this dark space to this space of light. Now I want to say, for some of you, you may be going to school, or you may be studying law. And for some of you, we see that you may be struggling in the beginning of the month, but actually you're gonna do well. You're gonna do very well. There was another message here. Oh, the one thing I did want to say too is, anytime we have the sun appear in a reading, it casts its light on the other cards in the spread. So even with the Tower here, don't let that dismay you. Don't let that upset you, because honestly, all the cards in the tarot are neutral, and it's really about what the surrounding cards are saying. The center card here in your reading is the Ace of Pentacles, and when I do a 9-card spread, I always look at what the center card is, and the other cards surrounding it really tell me a story about what the center card is saying. So honestly, you have the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles here, and it's like whatever issues you may face this month in March, they're going to be minimized compared to the positivity and the good things that are coming in for you for the month of March. Okay? So let me take these Gypsy Oracle cards and I'm going to look at this more in depth. And I want to look at the Tower card first, but please remember this is a general reading, so this situation may not apply to you particularly. If you want a more specific, specialized reading that solely looks at your situation, you're always welcome to request a private reading, and I'll be happy to do so for you. Tower. Yeah, you're receiving some type of news here with Thief card. You're receiving some kind of news that may indicate a negative turn in events, or that's how you're understanding it. You may feel as if you were naive, or this woman, she's a young woman, so she can be a bit ignorant and naive and unaware. So there was something you were unaware of that you may feel causes some type of negative turn in events. However, with the Sweetheart here, I'm kind of feeling like, for some of you, if you're going through a divorce or a custody issue, your ex-partner may be involved with someone new, and that may be the shocking news. Or this can be for you being the Sweetheart. If you're a male maybe and going through this, this is depicting the ex. But for some of you, if you're the female and this is you, the Sweetheart coming up here, I really feel like this card is saying, you know, be patient with yourself, love yourself, know that things are going to turn out all right. It's a reminder that it's okay if you didn't know or you didn't understand and this happened, because things will turn around. Let me look at the Ace of Pentacles. So again, I'm kind of getting divorced with this. You said goodbye to an ex-partner with the Widower card here, and there was some sorrow with this ending because it was a marriage, and maybe there are children involved because we have children depicted in this wife card, okay? However, with the Ace of Pentacles here, this means you're getting the child support or you're getting the alimony. You're going to receive what it is you're asking for from the court. I think that in the beginning of the month, I don't know if you're working with an attorney. I feel like some of you may be working with an attorney, and they're telling you that, you know, you're not going to get what you're asking for, and it's making you pause and reflect, well, what am I going to do? But eventually it turns around, and they're saying, oh, wait a minute, you know, the judge actually comes up with something different. And let me look at the Nine of Swords here. So focus on your home, focus on your family. Don't worry about what's going on outside of you. Try not to let anxiety and fear and restlessness get the better of you. It's saying here you need to take care of yourself. With the Servant card, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be more gentle with yourself. Okay? So that's the general reading. Let me move into the singles reading for the month of March. Let's see what's coming up for my single Aquarians. We have the Death card, Eight of Pentacles, the Lovers, Ten of Pentacles, the Fool, Six of Pentacles, Five of Rods, Seven of Rods, the Eight of Cups. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Pentacles. I think a lot of you are focused on career this month. I mean, we have the Lovers card here, but I think this card in this spread is really talking about making decisions about work. I see you possibly ending employment with one employer and seeking employment elsewhere. You want a career or a job where you're making more money and there's more, I want to say, equal distribution of workload. I see that possibly with family you're dealing with some kind of conflict, and you're having to stand your ground with certain individuals, and possibly even walking away or ending relationships with some family members. Some of you may be moving away from home or moving away from family, and your family is not wanting you to move, but you're wanting to move. So you have to stand your ground with your family and let them know, this is what I need to do in order to be happy. Possibly moving for an employment opportunity as well. The Knight of Pentacles here is the overall energy, is reminding you though, when you make your decisions, consider all aspects of what you're doing, and I feel that you will be, okay? But the Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest moving knight in the deck. He takes his time when he makes decisions because he has this one pentacle and he wants to invest it wisely. So he's looking for the best opportunity and what's going to give him the greatest return. So it's really about, if you're thinking about leaving an employer, really think about, is there better opportunity elsewhere? Am I going to be making more money compared to what the living expenses are in this new area that I want to move to? Okay, so that's one message here. For others of you, again, I'm seeing something with an ex that you may have children with, having some conflict with an ex, trying to work out your differences for the best interest of the children, having decisions to make with this ex, letting this ex know that emotionally you've withdrawn, and it's almost like there's a message here too with the Eight of Cups that when you have to make decisions with the ex regarding children, don't allow your emotions to overwhelm your decision making, because your relationship with your ex is not the relationship your children have with the ex. So don't let any of your negativity or the negativity of the relationship impact your decisions with what time they spend with the ex or so forth. Whatever is going on between the two of you has nothing to do with the children. Their relationship is separate. And I feel if that's the case, we're talking about making decisions where things are more equal between you and the ex. Financially, both spending the same amount on school supplies or spending the same amount on medical bills, splitting it evenly, 50-50, but also splitting time equally. You don't want to put the children in the middle of your conflict, or you don't want other family members outside of your relationship telling you, arguing with you or your ex about how to handle this situation. You got to stand your ground to those people. So honestly, for those who are just honestly single, don't have an ex, don't have any of that going on, they're just wondering when they're going to meet someone, I think this month you're more focused on career, you're more focused on moving and advancing yourself and making more money and establishing yourself. I don't really see you looking for love, looking for a new partnership. I see you honestly doing well when it comes to finding a job or finding a new career or advancing yourself. And if you're considering moving, I see that going well for you as well. But I think you're very resourceful, and I think you are very good with your money typically. So I think you know what it takes in order to move and in order to accomplish whatever goal you set for yourself. Let me look at the Lover's card here with these Gypsy Oracle cards. So if you're a young person, okay, with this young woman card, if you're a young person and you are considering moving, I think it's going to be a fortunate turn of events for you. We have the gift card, and then we have the pleasant surprise. Even if you're not a younger individual and you're thinking about changing careers, changing jobs, planning a move, there's something positive coming in for you, a pleasant surprise coming in for you that's going to be very fortunate, a blessing. And it's going to help open your eyes to new opportunities this month to advance in some way. Let me look at the Five of Rods here. Some of you are dealing with an ex, or some of you are dealing with a potential partner. There's conflict here, though. There's conflict. It's saying here with the Priest card that you are single, but there is someone, either an ex or somebody coming in that you have conflict with. I don't see you actually starting a relationship with this person. If it's the ex-partner that you have children with, it's conflict with that person. It's just emphasizing that this was a romantic relationship at one time, but now you're single. Let me look at the Knight of Pentacles here. Moving ahead and moving away. And I want to say changing a contract or an agreement with a custody arrangement or a divorce, settling with a divorce. I don't want to say you see your partner as the enemy, but let's just say you have opposing views on how this should be handled, and that's the conflict this month. But I do see you eventually coming together, splitting everything equally. And then emotionally, you're going to be able to detach and walk away from this situation. Okay? So that's what I have for my single Aquarians. Let me go ahead and look at what's coming up for coupled Aquarians for the month of March. We have the Nine of Cups, Four of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Nine of Rods, Ace of Pentacles, Strength, Ten of Rods, Nine of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have Justice again. So for my coupled Aquarians, I think this month you and your partner are really focused on money. You're focused on making more money. Some of you may be talking about working together to save and invest. So maybe you want to save to buy a house, or maybe you want to save to move. I feel like one of you feels like you're carrying the weight of the responsibility of providing for each other or for your family. Maybe one of you isn't working, and one of you is just carrying the weight of providing. This month, your partner, the one who is not working or the one who's not making enough to to actually contribute. This month, they may be getting a promotion or they may be getting a new job where now there's equal give and take financially. Okay? However, this does alleviate some of the stress off of you, but I also feel like if there are children involved, there's discussions regarding how then are we going to care for the children. There may be more money put out for daycare and such. However, it is wish fulfillment that this person is finding work and that you're able to work together to provide for the home. With the Justice card and the Six of Pentacles here, they both depict the scales being balanced. So where there was imbalance in the relationship, even if it's not on a financial level, it can be on an emotional level, where there's been imbalance, things are being brought back into balance here. And for those of you who feel overwhelmed in your relationships, I'm seeing here there's a restful period in the month of March where things aren't as challenging or there's not as much conflict. And however, you're kind of not trusting this peaceful rest period, and so you're still over worrying yourself and anxious, and you don't need to be, because things are moving in a positive direction. I feel like you're almost waiting for the other shoe to drop, like you're waiting for some other negative news, but I don't see that coming in here. I think you need to drop this burden that you're carrying because it's overwhelming. Not just if it's a financial way, but in an emotional way too. You have to be willing to trust your partner that they are strong enough to help. And for some of you, your partner may be a Leo. Let me look at the 10 of Rods here. 10 of Rods, 10 of Rods, 10 of Rods. So maybe you feel like your relationship, you haven't connected together romantically. You may have lost that spark, but you still love one another. And it's saying here to work on that. This Merchant card is like a card of contracts, agreements. So you have an agreement in your relationship. Maybe things have gotten a bit mundane and you two aren't spending enough time together, and maybe you're overworked and overstressed. And here it's saying you need to take the time out to conversate with your partner and build that relationship back up, because there is true love here between you and your partner. Let me look at the Four of Swords. So you're needing rest because this card is in the past position, but it can also be in the current position, where we're seeing a consistency in things not really changing. Okay, and maybe something negative has happened in the past with this Thief card. It can represent a negative change. Maybe there was some type of negative change and things haven't been the same since. But I think together you need to work on finding ways to find resolution, because again, there is true love here in this relationship, and shutting each other out isn't going to resolve anything. If you need a break from one another, that's fine. If you need to take a time out, do it. But at the end of the day, if you want this relationship to work, you have to communicate with one another. Okay? Let me look at the Nine of Swords. I think you're worried about this relationship ending. I think you're worried that things aren't going to turn around, or that things aren't going to have a positive outcome. Because here we have the Lord, and this is someone who's a professional, but he can also be someone who's very like matter of fact and to the point. He's not someone who's very like romantic or carries his heart on his sleeve kind of person. So you're worried that the love is missing here. And here we have a widower, and then we have a card of sighing. So we have a male and female saying goodbye. I think you're afraid that this relationship is going to end, but it's a matter of both of you being proactive in making it work, and really communicating and hearing one another, because that is possible here. With the Three of Pentacles, it's saying you can collaborate, you can have wish fulfillment. Yes, it's going to take strength. However, new beginnings are possible. So don't allow your negative thinking and despair to overwhelm you to the point where you're not communicating with your partner. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Again, if you're interested in a private reading, please feel free to contact me at my website below. I do have that special running where I'm offering an additional 15 minutes on a 20-minute reading for free, or an additional 10 minutes on a 40-minute reading for free. You can also email me if you'd like more information on that. I will post my email address in the information box below as well. And I wish you all a wonderful March. Thank you. Bye.